They all had a nice time at the movies, and immediately they returned, Austin went into his dad's room to have a talk with him. "Good evening, Dad," he greeted. "Oh, welcome, my son. How was your outing? Hope you have fed your babe with enough. I am sorry," his dad replied. "Yes, so," Austin said. "I have even given her an overdose of the sorry self. Don't mind her, Dad. She's just been naughty." That's women for you. The way they easily make up their minds is the same way they easily change it. You need to get used to their methodology. "Methodology indeed," Austin started. "When men offend them, we have to say sorry. And when they offend us too, we still have to be the one to say sorry again." Father and son echoed together with a sarcastic laughter. "Well, Austin, I'm glad you are learning so fast. It took me a while before I could figure out these things. Back then when I got married, we used to fight a lot over little things until I applied my heart to this wisdom. Now I've learned to give to women what belongs to women," Austin's dad lectured. "That's great wisdom. Thanks, Dad. Otherwise, you will just be struggling in your relationship," his dad concluded. Austin remarked. "By the way, if I may ask, what exactly attracted you to Renie? Do you always feel like a current pass through your body whenever you see her, or what?" "No, Dad, not at all. You know I'm surrounded with quite a lot of ladies either at work or in church. I met Renie in church, we once served together in a unit, but of all the ladies around me, I realized that my dispositions and feelings for her were quite different. I have this unusual warmness in my heart towards her whenever she's around, quite unexplainable." "Interesting. Tell me more," his dad said. "I must confess that choosing her was actually a leading from God, because initially there was no attraction at all. Renie was not even my type of girl," Austin added. Then continued, "You know, Dad, I have dated girls in the past, and I love fair-skinned, gorgeous ladies. And not just that, I love the big ones, front, back, everything." I feel you there, boy. "That was exactly what I was looking for, and it has been 3 years of what seems to be an endless search." He paused. "I couldn't find anyone like that who is worthy to marry, until one day that I had this sincere discussion with God. I was just bothered. Why can't I just see someone like this around me? Then I heard this gentle response inside me. 'Maybe you should create one for yourself.' 'Why?' I replied. 'But women like that exist. I have come across so many of them. Why can't I just have one for myself?' I heard the gentle response again. 'What stops you from approaching them for marriage whenever you see them?' That was the turning point for me, Dad. I used to tell myself I know what I want, but that day I realized it's more about what God says is best for me. He knows my strengths, my weaknesses, my shortcomings. He could see into the future to know who fits into the glorious purpose and destiny prepared for me. He knows that person whose strengths, maturity, and capacity can withstand the trials of faith, life situations, and challenges ahead of me. I can't know all these, but God knows. He knows the suitable person for me, and I just have to respect God for that," Austin concluded. "That's a mouthful," his dad sighed. "See, Dad, I will forever be grateful to God for bringing Renie my way. We both fit into each other very well. She complements my strengths and cushions my lapses." "That sounds great, Austin. Now tell me, what have you discovered about her that makes her so special?" "Dad, Renie is more prudent than myself. She manages resources better than I do. You know me, I'm not that diligent with my finances. I spend on impulse. I think I'm improving now. It's so funny, whenever Renie and I go shopping and she thinks we've spent enough, she will just start discouraging me from buying any other thing. If I show her this, she will say it's ugly. If I show her that, she will say it's not fine. If I show her something else, she will say it's old-fashioned, and she will keep doing that until I get her message. That's exactly the kind of woman you need." "You know what, Dad? In a way, God has been using Renie to teach me patience. You know, I could be terribly impatient, always doing things in haste. Sometimes, I don't think through issues before I act. I always like everything to happen fast. I consider time to be not too friendly, and so I act quickly. At times, not even counting the cost. But with Renie, it's a different ballgame entirely. And she has indeed saved me some pains. You remember a couple of months back when I called you and Mom that I was promoted at work after 5 years?" Austin asked. "Yes, I do," his dad replied. "I would have missed that promotion." "What happened?" his dad asked. "Well, one day, I got frustrated at work and I just felt like quitting immediately. I drafted my resignation letter and just before I forwarded it to HR, I felt I should talk to someone." "But son, you should have called us. You know your mom and I are always here for you." Yes, I know, Dad, but I already know what you will say. I know you will tell me not to quit, that I should just be patient, that God has a purpose for everything, but I didn't want to hear all that. I needed someone who will support my decision. So I decided to call Renie because I know she sometimes complained about the job getting in the way of our relationship. So I called her. Hello, Renie? Yes, dear, how are you? Renie breathing hard on the phone. I just want to inform you that I'm quitting my job. Quitting your job? Why? Well, we'll talk about it when we see. Renie paused. Austin, can I ask for a favor, please? What? Please, for the love we both share, can you give me the honor of talking to you face to face concerning this issue? You know this decision will surely affect us. Austin cuts in. It will not affect us in any way. I can easily get another job. I have a number of friends who have been telling me to come over and join their organizations. I may even decide to go to UK for my MBA. I already have some money saved for that. If not, I can start my own business. Listen to me, Austin, Renie replied. I know you have everything figured out, but please, for the love we share, can you give me this honor to talk to you before you drop your resignation letter? Okay, Austin replied after another long pause. Thank you. I'll wait for you at the restaurant after closing. Don't bother. I'll pick you up at your office. But dear, that means I'm going to wait for you at the gate like forever. I close 5 p.m., but you don't close at 5. Renie, my official closing time is 5 p.m., and once it's 5, I'm out of here. So get ready, I'll pick you up.
At exactly 5:25 p.m., Austin pulled up at the gate and called Renie to come downstairs. She came almost immediately and joined him in the car. Hello, dear, she greeted. Hi, Austin replied. Austin, please tell me, what happened? Renie asked. Renie, you know all my ordeals with this job, and I don't think I have kept anything away from you. Whenever I work hard and produce great results, I don't get appraised. Rather, my superiors get all the credits. But let there be a mistake somewhere. Even when it is not mine, I still get all the blame. In the last 6 months, I have received 4 solid queries, mostly for things that were not my fault, and the 5th one landed on my table today. Renie, it's driving me crazy. I can't do this anymore, he lamented. Calm down, babe. Please calm down, Renie said. I hate to see you like this. I can see through the pain in your eyes and I feel it too. Just calm down, please. Austin pulled back his seat and relaxed on it while Renie continued. Babe, I know all you are passing through with this job. I also know how much you have endured and persevered. This is not funny at all, and I appreciate the fact that you choose to share your decisions with me. I feel honored. Let me remind you of some precious moments we have shared together. Do you remember when we got engaged and we were discussing God's plans for us, for our lives, career, family, ministry and all? Do you remember I asked about your plans for your career? And you told me specifically that you have a word from God about it, that He is going to move you from one phase to another in your career, and that before one phase ends, the next would have unfolded. Can you remember that you told me all these? Austin, is it time? Is this what God wants for you now? Are you really sure this phase is over? And if it is, where is the next phase? Have you heard anything from God about it? If it is not yet God's time for you to quit, you will just hang in there in the balance, frustrated, and I don't want that for you. Even if you pick up another job now, you will still not find that rest or fulfillment until God's appointed time to move you to the next phase in your career. Renie spoke calmly, looking into Austin's eyes. Babe, Renie called, placing her right hand on Austin's shoulder. I know this is quite tough for you. Believe me, since we spoke about this on the phone, I have been praying and I am yet to receive any conviction about it. Anyway, whatever decision you take, if you are sure you have a lead on this, I am solidly behind you. I pledge my support for you, Austin. We are in this together. Can we pray about this? Renie asked. Okay, Austin replied. Renie prayed and Austin concluded with an amen. He pulled up his seat and said, I'll take you home. Austin drove slowly, thinking about everything Renie said. He slotted in Michael Smith's song, Grace, one of his favorites, on playback. Renie sat quietly beside him. She knew he needed some time to process and meditate. They both respect each other's space, and at the moment, her silence was golden. After about an hour, he pulled up at her gate, and just before she alighted, she turned to ask, Austin, will you still resign? I'll think about it, he replied. The look on his face was not satisfactory, but hey, what was he supposed to do? She had already altered his thoughts. Austin woke up the following morning with a clarity of mind. He decided to stay on the job for God to have his way. He sent a message to Renie. Hey babe, good morning. Thanks for the encouragement. I'm staying. I will talk to you later. Nice day. Love you.
Dad, you won't believe it. Exactly 2 weeks after, I was duly promoted to a better position with better benefits. Wow, what a testimony, Austin's dad exclaimed. I actually learnt a lot from that experience, Austin concluded. Very encouraging, his dad said. You know, since you clocked 30, your mother and I have been waiting anxiously for the day you will introduce your girl to us. We decided that we will not ask you about it yet, so as not to put you through any kind of pressure. But we have been praying earnestly for you concerning your marital destiny, and hearing all this, I am so grateful to God for answering our humble prayers. Thanks for the prayers, Dad. It works, Austin added. I love Renie so much. I have discovered that when you truly love someone, it flows from the heart. Contrary to my fantasized expectations, I admire Renie physically too. In fact, she turns me on anytime, any day. There you go, my boy. Be careful. Your bed must not be defiled. I know, Dad. Renie and I have already concluded on that, Austin quickly added. Now, tell me, how are you managing the age difference? Oh, about that? I am more mature than her now. Renie that sometimes behaves like a baby. You saw the tantrum she threw just this afternoon, Austin replied, bursting into laughter. Austin and his dad continued their man-to-man gist. No doubt they were both enjoying the moment. For a while, they got carried away with the CNN news, but later, his father reopened the conversation. You see, everything you told me about your relationship is quite interesting. Now tell me, how did you eventually catch this big fish? Was she difficult to get? I would like to hear your love story. Austin sighed. Well, every good woman is a big fish to any man, if only she knows her worth. That's wisdom. If only she knows her worth, Austin's dad repeated the phrase. Do you remember I told you Renie and I once served in the same unit in church? Austin asked. Yes, I do. And you were the leader of the unit, his dad replied. Very correct, Dad, Austin replied. Renie served in the exco too, although not among the central exco. She was a unit subhead. The first thing that drew my attention to her was the way she contributes to discussions whenever we're having executive meetings. Dad, Renie was a very critical person. She would scrutinize every issue and situation of discuss one after the other, telling you why this will not work, why that is not a perfect idea, or that if you do it this way, you can never achieve the desired result. She was just too analytical for my liking. Oh, really? His dad chuckled. Yes, Dad, Austin replied. And you know me, I am very choleric. Thank God for my sanguine blend that balances my weaknesses. But still, I'm so result-oriented, and whatever I need to do to get my results, I go for it. Then, I don't have much patience for her analogies, so oftentimes we end up with face-offs and arguments right there at every meeting. And you know, she will be so adamant that she would insist on her 101 ways why your decisions or conclusions might not work. So, most times as the leader, I just take a decision, sell the idea to the rest of the team, and we move on from there, whether it suits her analysis or not. Interesting. But does that approach work well for you? Well, sometimes it does, few times it doesn't, but you know me well, Dad. I'm never afraid of failing forward. That's great. I give you that compliment for your strength. At the same time, you must learn to handle your relationship with your team members in such a way that it will always end in a win-win situation, his dad concluded. I know, Dad, but Renie was such a special case. I always try to be friends with her even after our meetings, but she usually takes the face-offs personal and preferred to distance herself from me. Until after a while that I observed that she became unusually quiet during exco meetings. She would only make contributions when it has to do with her office, and after that she would just listen and comply with every decision taken. What happened? His dad asked. I was clueless, Dad, Austin replied. Renie just became unusually quiet. Initially, I thought maybe she got engaged to one of the brothers within the exco and she just wanted to make a good impression. But when I inquired, I was told she wasn't engaged to anyone among us. Dad, I became a little curious. She became an adventure for me to unravel. The more I tried to get closer, the more she kept away. You mean this same Renie? Yes, so my one and only. Austin laughed. I tried finding out who her friends were, but I was surprised when everyone I asked told me she is quite friendly with everybody. They never really noticed anyone in particular as intimate, and this got me more curious. Who exactly is this lady? So that was how your adventure began, Austin's dad chipped in. Yes, Dad. I was not even in love with her then. I just wanted to clear the air between us to be sure she wasn't hurting due to our unnecessary conflicts. But Renie tactically dodged all my advances, Austin replied. Until one Saturday morning, I woke up with a burden in my heart for her. Since I wasn't close to her, I just prayed and let it go. By 12 noon, I felt this burden a little more, so I decided to call, but her line was not reachable. I called one of the sisters in the exco to help me reach her to know how she was doing. She called back that she couldn't reach her too. I became a little worried, so I asked if we can visit her together. She said we can, just that she was at the salon at the moment, that I should wait till she finishes. By 2 p.m., I called her, she was still at the salon. By 4 p.m. again, I called, she apologized that she will soon finish. Women palaver, Austin's dad added. Nah, real women palaver, Austin replied. By that time, I had lost my peace. I was entirely restless, so I collected Renie's address and drove out to look for her. When I got to her apartment, I knocked but got no response, so I concluded no one was around. I turned around to leave but still felt this burden so strong in my heart. I went back to knock the door, but there was no response, yet I couldn't leave. So I sat at her entrance thinking of what to do for like 45 minutes. All of a sudden, I got up again and went back to knock the door. And to my surprise, I heard, "Come in, the door is not locked." So she was in all along. Yes, and I was so shocked with what I saw when I entered her apartment. Oh, what happened? I met Renie on the sofa with tears on her face and bruises all over her body. I couldn't believe what I saw. "Renie, what happened to you?" Austin screamed. Renie couldn't talk. Austin knelt beside her and asked again, "Renie, please talk to me. What happened?" "I fell from a motorbike on my way back from the market this morning," she managed to respond. "Oh my God," Austin exclaimed, "and I had this burden in my heart for you this morning. I wish I tarried a little longer in prayer. I'm so sorry." Renie looked so weak and helpless. "Has anyone taken you to the hospital?" Austin asked. "No, I'll be fine," she replied.
Austin was not too surprised by her response. That's Renie in real time, always thinking and behaving independently. "But Renie, you need to be checked. You can't just tell me you are okay with all these bruises." I said I'm fine. I'm okay. Austin got up and started pacing the room. "I just have to do what I have to do," he muttered to himself. "Renie, if you don't get up from that sofa, I will carry you. And you know I meant my word," Austin spoke sternly. "Okay," she replied as she dragged herself up. At the hospital, a proper check was conducted and we were told she had no internal injury, only the bruises on her body. Austin watched as her wounds were being cleaned and treated by the nurse. He couldn't help but move closer to hold her when he saw tears flow down her eyes due to the pains. What a sight. He knew Renie to be strong and bold. This seemed like the childlike version of her. "Renie, it's okay. Please don't cry," Austin consoled her. It was a bit late when Austin dropped Renie at home. They had branched at the restaurant to get something to eat. The following day was Sunday, so he informed other members of the group to visit and care for her. Trust brethren, they did the needful. Austin visited same evening too. "How are you doing, Renie?" he asked. "Much better. Thanks for yesterday. I'm so grateful," she replied. "All thanks to God. I got you a new phone to replace the one you lost yesterday. It may not be up to your standard, but I hope you can manage it." "Which one is up to standard? Was my phone as expensive as yours?" "You know ladies like expensive phones. I'm just trying to respect myself." "Okay, but this is good enough for my standard. Thank you so much. God bless you." "Thank God, Austin replied. "I'll check back by weekend. Let me rush down to prepare for work tomorrow." All through that week, Austin's mind was on Renie. He couldn't understand what has happened to him. He just discovered a kind of likeness in his heart for her. He called her up a couple of times though to find out how she's doing, but still he could not remove her from his mind. He decided to check on her again the following Saturday. "Hey Renie, how are you?" Austin greeted when she opened the door. The big babe is back on her feet. Good evening, Austin. Good to see you, she replied. How has your week been? Well, we thank God. And yours? He asked. Fine. Thanks for all the cares and calls. I never knew you were this nice, she said. Oh, is that supposed to be a compliment? Well, for your information, I am always nice, especially to people who fell from motorbikes like you. You are not serious, Renie replied with a smile. This your $1 million smile, Austin teased. Bro Austin, seems you are on my case today. Well, the truth is, I saw you cried last week and I was deeply touched, so it's nice putting those beautiful smiles back on your face. So nice of you. Thank you so much, Renie replied. Your estate is kind of cool in the evenings. Can we stroll? Austin asked, if you wouldn't mind. No problem. Let me quickly brush my hair. Austin and Renie strolled along her street gently, talking, gisting, laughing. Gosh, Renie has such a listening ear and with a good sense of humor too. Later, they got to a cool spot and branched to take some roasted meat with cold drinks and also to continue their gist. Austin was so keen about demystifying the mystery lady. Renie, permit me to ask, I noticed you have changed a lot, and I mean so much. You are no longer the Renie I used to know, Austin said, locking his gaze with hers. She looked down and smiled. In what ways, Austin? You suddenly got quiet and withdrawn at the meetings, Austin added. You got me worried, you know. I'm still my humble self. Nothing changed, Renie replied with a shrug. Renie, we can talk. At least we are friends now, he pleaded. Well, maybe I should just say I discovered myself, Renie explained. You know, sometimes I get bothered with the arguments that occur between us at the meetings. I usually take time out to think and ask myself why it happens all the time, until I got this job with an advertising company. There, I discovered my immediate boss acts and behaves the same way as you do. The only difference between the two of you was that he absorbed my excesses and showed me love anyway. He made the best out of my strengths and achieved his best results through them. I attempted reaching out to you in love too, Renie, but you never gave me a chance. In fact, you shielded yourself from everyone, Austin said calmly. I don't know about that one, All I know is that I have a tender heart and I protected it with a wall because I don't want to get hurt. Have you ever been hurt before? Austin asked, looking straight into her eyes. I don't know, she replied. Story for another day, right? Okay, just continue with this one. Okay, Renie continued. One day, I visited a friend and I saw a book on her table by Tim Nahai titled Why You Do the Things You Do. I got curious and borrowed it to read. It was so liberating. I enjoyed every part of it. I discovered my unique personality to be melancholy, saw my strengths and my weaknesses, and I was dazed. Now, I can understand why I get to be critical, moody, and analytical sometimes. I love everything to be perfect. And there in the book, I saw the reason why I could stay alone in a house for 3 years without missing anybody. I was just too engrossed in my own world. I know life shouldn't be like that, so with a decision to change, I cried to the Holy Spirit for help. And He did help me. I began to see the better side of my weaknesses and how my strengths can compensate for them. It's been a long journey, but I'm pulling through. About the same time, another friend of mine gave me a gift for my birthday, a book from the same author, The Spirit-Controlled Temperament, and I was excited to see the emergence of a new me. So that was how I became a good girl, Renie concluded with a smile. Wow, I think I need to apologize to you, Renie. I have actually misjudged you to be someone too critical, rude, and rigid. I'm so sorry. I never knew you were pleasant like this. Well, I need to apologize to you too, she replied. I always see you as someone very bossy, proud, and too full of himself.
I'm sorry. That makes the two of us then, so we can be friends now, right? Yes, friends without benefit. Women, Austin added. Anyway, now that we are friends, hope your bro will not mind if I decide to take you out for dinner. Or do I need to write a letter? Anyhow you want it, just let me know when and time, Renie replied with a smile. And so, Dad, that was how our friendship began, Austin gave a sigh. Each day that passed drew us closer. We were both convinced that this relationship is God's will for us. And here we are today, he concluded with a smile.
Finally, it was Easter Monday morning. Austin and Renie were getting ready to bid his parents farewell for the holiday spent with them. Renie woke up that morning reflecting on the events of the last few days. Quite exciting. She felt a wave of gratitude in her heart to God for the warmth and favors received from Austin's parents, especially his mom. She remembered the words of a wise elderly woman who said, "If you want to know if a man will truly care for you in marriage, check out the way he treats his mother and sisters." Renie watched Austin closely during the visit, and she observed a strong bond of love, tenderness, and care that he shares with his mom and sisters. She was impressed with the looks, expressions, and the kind words they speak to one another. She tried not to be jealous anyway, because the strong bond of love within the family is an indication that she will enjoy a smooth ride in his relationship with Austin too. She was moved to tears when Mrs. Lawson gave her a beaded necklace and a warm embrace just as they were about leaving. She held her for a while and prayed for me. This can only be God. Anyway, they finally left and the journey home was very smooth. Renie was about alighting from the car when Austin reminded her of an outing scheduled for the weekend. "Renie, do you remember that my colleague I told you will be getting married?" "Yes," she replied. "The guy you said the company is organizing a bachelor's party for?" "You are right. The party is this weekend. I'll pick you up Saturday evening by 6. "Okay, no problem. Anything for the girl?" "Meaning?" Austin asked. "Well, I was thinking you will at least give me some money to do some shopping." "But I just gave you some money last week before we visited my parents." "I know. Maybe you should just give me money to make my hair then." Renie, don't worry. In a few months' time, I know I will start reaping the fruits of my labor." "I hear. At least before then, let me eat your money too. Remind me tomorrow morning, I'll credit your account." "Thanks, dear. I will." It's Saturday morning. Renie woke up with a lot on her mind. She was busy thinking about the most suitable appearance for the outing and was also in a way feeling on the edge as if something is about to go wrong. Could it be because it's my first appearance with Austin on an official duty? His company has a legacy of organizing special bachelor's party for any of their male staff getting married. Well, a good number of them were employed young as bachelors and would have worked like crazy for the organization before they even think of marriage. Those guys deserve it, Jerry. After all, they have paid their dues for all those first-class air tickets, 5-star hotels, wardrobe allowances, best rides, bonuses. I'm just praying that Austin's workload will not get in the way of our wedding plans. I beg, I want to marry Joe. For how long am I going to wait? By 6:05 p.m., Austin was around to pick Renie at home. She had eventually concluded on wearing something simple and comfortable. It's just an evening event, no long thing. On their way, she observed Austin has been quiet. He only responded once or twice to her conversations. And even for about 20 minutes, there had been a silence except for the stereo that was playing in the car. What could have happened? Renie pondered. "Sweetheart, what's going on? Is anything bothering you?" she asked. Austin paused for a while and said, "Nothing. Everything is okay." "Are you sure?" she asked again. "Don't bother yourself," he said. "I'll be fine." They eventually arrive at the event. The traffic on the way was light, otherwise they would have arrived late. The venue is a popular social club on the island. Come and see company guys with their assorted babes. Sure, Austin wouldn't have attended if not that it was an official duty. Besides, the guy getting married happened to be his right-hand colleague at work, and he has been mandated to give the toast at the event.
Right from the entrance, Austin started exchanging greetings with friends and colleagues. Too many introductions and handshakes. Meet my babe, Austin introduced Renie to everyone they met. She never knew he's this popular. She managed to plaster a plastic smile on her face and was very happy when they finally got to their VIP seat. They had barely settled down when a couple of strange-looking guys started coming to the table to greet Austin. They would excuse him off the table to talk to him at one side. First time, second time. After the third time, Renie got curious and was ready to ask Austin some serious questions. "Austin, what's going on? I don't understand. Why are your friends excusing you from the table? Can't they talk in my presence or what?" she queried. Austin took a long breath and said, "Renie, calm down. I will explain everything to you." "Tell me now, what exactly is going on?" she insisted. "Renie, I'm going to tell you some things now. I don't want you to panic. Don't look around. Just focus on me."
Renie locked her gaze on Austin, ready to hear what he would say. "Apart from my colleagues at work, most of the guys seated here are cult guys I had dealt with back then on campus, and they are mostly from rival gangs." Renie got frozen on her seat. She felt so scared. "Calm down," Austin whispered. "But how are you sure they are still in cult?" she asked. "Hush," Austin cautioned. "Lower your voice. I have spotted the bracelets they wore on their left wrists. Same thing. So who are these guys coming to talk to you?" "They are few of my friends, back then on campus. We were in the same cult group." Their conversation was interrupted again by a guy who came to talk with Austin. He wanted to excuse him from the table, but Austin insisted that he should feel free to talk. "Don't worry, she's my babe," Austin said. "So what's the situation like?" Renie looked away as if she wasn't interested in their conversation. "My guy, these people are prepared for a showdown tonight," Dino started. "And we have already called for reinforcement too. Some of our guys are on their way for backup." "By the way, how did they know that I will be here tonight?" Austin asked. "Capo, informant's day now," Dino said. "Dino, it's Austin," he cuts in. "Whatever, they have been trailing you for like 5 years now. These guys are on a revenge mission. Didn't you hear about what they did to Lamy last year?" Dino asked. "Yes, at the club," Austin replied. "I remember." At this point, Renie's eyes widened. She looked towards Austin in panic. She remembered he once told her about one of his former cult members who was murdered in cold blood at a clubhouse in Lagos a couple of years back. The guy went to relax after work one Friday night, but unfortunately met guys from a rival cult group. They recognized one another and, seeing he was alone, attacked and stabbed him to death. At this point, Renie was indeed afraid. What is going to happen to Austin? What is going to happen to us? She thought to herself. "You know the parole, boss," Dino continued. "Never walk alone if you want to leave. Let it be when there's a movement. If they strike tonight, we will fight back. One love, bro," he concluded. "Thanks, man. I'll be in touch." Austin shook his hand as he took his leave. "What's going to happen to us, Austin? I'm scared. Can't we call the police?" Renie asked. "Renie, relax. Just relax. We'll be fine," he said. Few minutes after, Austin was called up to the podium to give the toast. Renie looked so scared and wished she could follow him. Austin gave her an assuring look before he stood up. She couldn't even listen to the toast he gave. Her eyes were on the fierce-looking guys at the event, and she kept imagining what their real faces looked like behind the shades. She was a bit relieved when Austin returned to the table. "Renie, we're leaving now," he said. "What? But your friends said we shouldn't walk alone, that we should wait till there's a movement. The party isn't over yet. What if they attack us?" she queried. "And you expect me to rely on that?" he asked. "For God's sake, I left the cult 10 years back. What if this is all a conspiracy?" Renie was confused. She didn't know what to believe anymore. It was very clear they would need God's help to get out of the party unhurt. "Lord, please help us," she silently prayed. "Renie," Austin called, holding her hands. "Just listen to me. We'll be fine," he assured. "How, Austin, how? I'm so scared." "Calm down. Can you see that exit door on the left? If you go out through that door, it leads to where we parked. Take the car keys. Thank God you can drive." "Am I leaving alone? What about you?" she asked. "We're leaving together. Just that the moment I stopped to exchange greetings with some of my colleagues across the table,
Make sure you find your way out of that door. Please, Renie, don't wait for me. I need you to be safe. But sweetheart, what's going to happen to you? I can't leave this place without you. Don't worry. Just be safe. Wait for me in the car. But what? Renie quickly cuts in. Never mind. Let's go, he said, holding her hands as they stood. As expected, all eyes were on them. Sure, many of them would be surprised they were leaving too soon because the event just started. Austin stopped across a table to inform some of his colleagues they are leaving. He released Renie's hand and she stylishly walked away towards the exit door. Renie was somehow relieved when she got out to the car park, but her relief was little-lived when she thought of Austin. She looked back and through the windows, she could see him walking towards the cult guys. Gosh, what on earth is he doing? Is he going to fight with them? Renie muttered to herself. She watched in amazement as he stretched out a handshake to each of those guys one after the other. She could see surprises boldly written on all of their faces, but reluctantly, they all shook hands with him one by one and exchanged greetings. As Austin was about to walk away, two guys walked towards him and all of a sudden, the light went off. What? Renie's heart raced. What happened?
She heard some movement and rushed down to the car and entered frightened. Some seconds after, the light was restored. She looked around for Austin in the hall, but he was no longer there. What do I do? Should I call his dad? Renie was about dialing the line when she looked up to see Austin walking towards the car with two guys who stopped a few meters behind him as he approached the car. The engine was already on, one of the things Austin taught her to do whenever she's waiting for him in the car, and immediately he entered without saying a word. He drove out. He waved at the guys and sped off down the lonely road. Austin drove with fury. Renie threw a couple of glances at him to caution him while wondering what was going on in his mind. By the time they got to the main road, he slowed down and spoke calmly. Renie, I apologize for everything that happened over there. I didn't plan to drag you into my past, but it just happened, he said. For like a month now, I have been having these terrible dreams of horror and darkness about my past. I have prayed about it so many times, but I still carried this heavy burden in my heart. However, tonight, as I approached those guys to shake their hands and walked out of those doors, I felt a heavy burden lifted off my shoulders. I owe them nothing, he said. Renie, I'm sorry. I apologize for bringing you into all these. Austin stretched out his hand to hold hers. Please, Renie stopped him. Just take me home.